Well, let's get some analysis on this story now from Richard Verley. He is the France and Europe correspondent for the Swiss newspaper Blick. It's good to have you on the programme, Richard. So we have now seen Barnier's full cabinet, and he picked centrist and right-wing ministers mostly. There's only one left-wing minister on his cabinet, but he promised to work with the left. How did we get here?
I think for Barnier, it's a failure in the sense that he would have clearly preferred a national unity government. He wanted to attract some figure for the left, but they refused. So, as you said, he's got only one in his cabinet, the new Minister of Justice, Didier Migaud, who was formerly a parliamentary from the Socialist Party, but who had distanced himself for quite a while with this political party. Now we're going to see what Barnier will do. We've got to give him the chance to prove that he is not a rightist prime minister. But when we look at the names that you just mentioned, especially the name of the new Minister of Interior, Bruno Retailleau, we may have some doubt because Retailleau is a clearly right-winger, especially on immigration, and we can expect from this Barnier government a very harsh stance on immigrants.
And we've also had some reaction from parts of the left. Socialist Party Chairman Olivier Faure has called the cabinet a government that gives democracy the finger. Give us your thoughts on that.
Well, I do not share completely the opinion of Olivier Faure. For sure, the left bloc, with 193 members of parliament among 577, has won the election. But it has won with a very narrow margin. And after all, what is important in the National Assembly is if you can form a coalition or not. And the left refused to form a coalition with the center. They wanted their own prime minister to be nominated, Madame Lucie Castet, and President Macron made it clear that he didn't want to associate La France Insoumise, the radical left, in any government. So I would say responsibilities are shared. On the one hand, yes, this government doesn't reflect the result of the election. It doesn't reflect the fact that a large number of French voters have opted for the National Rally, the extreme right, or the left bloc. But on the other hand, part of the left who could have been associated in a government just refused.
And how do you think the balance of power is likely to be like now in the National Assembly? Talk us through what it's going to look like now.
Well, we will have very soon a test, and it will be a crucial test as the budget is concerned. France is in difficulty, financial difficulty. The public deficit is rising. Public debt is growing. So Prime Minister Michel Barnier will have to, first of all, get a budget voted. And you could see in the appointment he made, he decided to have the minister in charge of budget directly under his authority, which is a clear sign. So we will see if Barnier can win this budget battle. If he managed to do so, then he will start on a better track than right now. We will have to see what he can get in terms also of compromise with the left, maybe with that part of the left who refuse to participate in the government, but who may decide to abstain and not to decide to vote a censorship motion, which will lead Barnier to resign.
And talk us through what other challenges Barnier has. You've laid out the fact that he does need to get a budget through. Talk us through what else he needs to overcome now.
Well, I would say he's got three challenges, and all of them will be difficult. The first challenge is to establish a new relationship with Emmanuel Macron. You know, in France, the president is the supreme authority, but Emmanuel Macron at the moment is a minority president, and a large part of the population don't trust him anymore. So Barnier has to prove that he is an independent prime minister, or at least that he has an autonomy to govern, that he is not Macron creature. That's the first challenge. Second challenge is the budget, as I say, because behind the budget, you've got public services, you've got purchasing power. A lot of French people consider that their public services are degrading. They want more money, more income, and that will bring the issue of taxes. Barnier will have to raise tax And as you guess, this is quite unpopular. And we'll see how he applies those taxes. He wants to tax the rich. Let's see what he will do. And the third challenges will be on the international front. Nominating Jean-Noël Barrot as Minister of Foreign Affairs is quite a challenge. He's an unknown entity. He is someone who is talented, but he'll have to work with Emmanuel Macron. They will fly together as soon as Monday for the UN General Assembly. And put yourself in the shoes of foreign government. They have seen since 2022 three foreign ministers, Catherine Colonna, then Stéphane Séjourné, then now Jean-Noël Barrot. It's time to get stable if France wants to have a voice on the international scene.
So that's what's next for Barnier. Tell us what's next for the left and people that voted for the left in July's parliamentary elections.
Well, the left as a bloc is in a difficult position, though they can claim that there is a kind of democratic denial, which may be true in a way. Still, they have to decide whether they want to remain united, all part of the left, the socialist, La France Insoumise of Jean-Luc Mélenchon, the Green and the Communist, or whether part of this coalition, I would say, show some willingness to compromise, and because of the need for France to advance, decide to abstain or eventually even to vote in favor of this Barnier government. At the moment, I doubt it. I think the left has made the choice of its own political objective, the town election, regional election coming in 2025, then the presidential election in 2027. But by doing so, it may disappoint a lot of voters from the center left who are pragmatic and do not want the left to be only a protest kind of movement, a protest bloc, but they would like also to see, for example, the socialists, the social democrat, to come back and accept somewhat to govern or to compromise.
Richard, thank you so much for talking us through the situation here, the political situation here in France. We really appreciate your thoughts. That's Richard Verly, the France and Europe correspondent for the Swiss newspaper Blick. Thank you so much.
Thank you.